What's going on YouTube? This is me again, back again in the video. I just want to do this video talking about the difference between being a sinner and being a saint. And the reason why I discuss this because I hear a lot of people, you know, I just watched an interview from the ambassador, the rapper and ambassador. He was talking about, how correction, how you deal with people, who don't want to be corrected. He said if you can't correct them, you yourself, do it in public, and then if you can't do it in public, you just treat them like a Gentile, aka sinner, because Gentiles were the people who, rebelled against God. They weren't of the chosen nation, which is the children of Israel. So when I heard that, it just made me think to myself, okay, so there's between being a sinner and being a saint. And because I hear a lot of people say they're a sinner and they grew up in church and whatnot, but then I hear they sinner, they save, they love God, and I hear people who say they're saint, and they just do whatever the world's doing, you know, or they may be, a Christian, but they lukewarm Christian, they don't really, seek God the way they're supposed to seek God. So the reason why I want to do this video is because, that used to confuse me when I was younger, because again, I got saved when I was only 14, so there are a lot of things I had to learn, about life and about the Bible, at that age, and just thinking about, that the term sinner, when I think of sinner, I think of somebody who's in the world, they don't really care, they just do whatever they want to do, or, they may love God, they may have, they may want to know God, but they're not, but they're still kind of lost, they still don't know where to go, they're, they might grow up in church, they might, know of God, but they never, really seek God fully. They never knew that they never really seek God fully. Versus a saint, I think of a saint is just somebody who's passionate. They love God. They read His Word. They pray. They fast. All that good stuff. So that's what I think of when I think of saint. And that's what I think of when I think of saint. In the Bible, Jesus, when he ate with he ate with the tax collectors, the publicans, people, and I think it's Luke chapter 14. Yeah, Luke chapter 14, when he ate with the sinners, the publicans, and all that stuff. The people in the society who we think as, bad people. But Jesus was like, you could still, be a tax collector as long as you be honest about it, as long as you can still do those things that you're required that, you do in the world, but you just do it in a more integral way versus, versus just doing it, the way you was taught to do it, or do it the way that's cool or popular. So that's what I'm thinking of when I think of like sinner and saint. And where I stand, right now I consider myself a saint just because I love God. I'm very passionate about His Word. You, sometimes there was some point in life when I felt when I was kind of lukewarm, when I was really reading His Word like that. But I still had a heart for Him. I still thought about Him. I still acknowledged Him before I make a big decision. So like I consider myself a saint. I don't curse, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do none of the stuff that being people my age, many people tell me I should be doing because I'm in my early 20s and whatnot. So that's where I stand as far as where I'm at on the spectrum, you know. But you have sinners, again, who go to church. They go to church every Sunday. They sing in the choir. They do whatever, because when I was growing up, people would always tell me, you say if you grew up in church, you're automatically a Christian, but that's not true, because there are a lot of people who go to church every Sunday. Every Sunday they might even go to Bible study, and and other stuff like that, but they still sin, they still fornicate, they still drink, they still get, straight drink till they get drunk, they still smoke marijuana, get high, you know, they get kids out of wedlock. Like I seen all that, in the church. I seen all that growing up in the church. So, my mom, my mom, I mean, bless her soul, but like she always told us that we were saved, even though that, we wasn't really checking for God, even though I was really checking for God at the time, like even though I grew up in church, I wasn't really checking for God up until up until I was 14. So, you know, up until a point I started reading for myself, so I realized, okay, that there is this between, being a church goer and being a Christian. You may be born into Christianity, but you're not, born again. That's why I like the term born again Christian. Or it's just calling yourself a Christian, because anybody could be a Christian. Like, I mean, technically anybody who's born under Christianity is a Christian, but because in the Bible, Jesus called us. He called us born again. He called us saved, saints, disciples. Those are the terms that Jesus used. The word Christian come about until after Christ died. So that's why but it resonates with us. But it's stuck with it's stuck with the church, and now anybody who's a part of anybody who does anything dealing with Christ is considered a Christian. Was before it was a disciple of Jesus, what have you. So that I just want to do this video just to let you guys know that there is a difference between being a sinner and being a saint. If you're a sinner, you'll always come to Jesus. The Bible in Romans 10:9, he said, confess your mouth, and put your heart, say Jesus Lord. Romans 10:9, you could repent, you could turn from your ways. 2 Chronicles 7:14 talks about, if my people humble myself and turn from the wicked ways, then I shall hear them, and I shall hear their land. So you can get saved, if you're not a Christian, if you don't go to church, or if you may have grew up in church, but you're not where you need to be with God. You can always come to God, Jesus. Or you may have backslided. And you may have fall into the world. You can still come to Jesus. God's forgiving, He's loving, and He's patient. But if you're just going to half step and say, oh, I go to church on Sunday, but I only do Saturday, I do whatever I want to do, then you're not ready. You're not truly born again. Because when you're born again, all you want is God. Like you're not, you may sin every now and again, but if you truly give your life to the Lord, like you'll want to know Him. Like you'll want to seek Him. You're not gonna wait up to Sunday morning to hear from the pastor. You're gonna want to see it for yourself. You're gonna want to read that Bible. You're gonna want to read His Word, study for yourself. Like that's what you want. That's what makes you different than just the average churchgoer. It's like when you seeking God for yourself. You pray for yourself. You don't just pray for a car or a house or money. You actually pray for spiritual things. You pray for for wisdom. You pray for good judgment. You pray for to be humble, to be humble, to be mature. Like you pray for things that deal with your character versus things that deal with your material things. So that's all I gotta say for this video. Again, be encouraged. This is Mario signing out.